Welcome to Chapter 7. In 1997, my blood brother had been murdered. I never got a chance to go to his funeral, and later, I learned my birth mom simply just was not ready to face me for the first time. I never knew why I couldn't go to my only brother's funeral, and that always stuck with me. My birthday was always hard because we were born exactly 3 months and 2 years to the date apart. I never understood why mommy did not just go adopt him, and I used to beg her over and over, could he just be with us? The day I got the news someone had shot him in his head, I blamed grandma and I blamed my adopted mom. I loved them, but I also loved my brother. We could have kept him safe, right? Even though I was adopted and my records had been sealed, my adopted mom still had a relationship with my maternal grandmother. I always knew her name. I would never forget my grandmother's name. I wanted to see where I was from, but I had no idea how or even if I should. My adopted mom was totally against me searching for my birth mom. She made it clear whenever I mentioned her that she wanted no parts of it. Now that we were not speaking, the urge grew stronger. I was so curious as to what she looked like and if she even loved me. I think my problems with my adopted mom made me fantasize about my birth mother more. I grew to resent my life and miss the life I would have had if I was with her. My new producer, which also became my boyfriend, had made such a big deal about me having full access to the studio he worked at. And I went to work. I mean, I had never actually been in a studio before, but it was like I was born for it. From the soundboard to the mic, it took me no time to catch on to being a complete package. Writing, singing, and producing. I think my first album had 12 tracks on it and 2 skits. After leaving my first boyfriend and meeting my new boyfriend who carried the same name, I took that as a sign and decided to express my experience with domestic violence. I worked day in and day out. I wrote and I slept. I slept and I woke. I sang and I made music. I went hard for 2 months straight. My cousins and friends from school even came to visit, and I was so proud of myself. I was doing something I knew I could do, and the freedom I had to work on my own project was out of sight. Then my boyfriend, producer, was a real positive input on me. I mean, I did not know everything about him, but he was really on my side. We were really friends, and I wasn't used to being away from my first Anthony, so I think I may have started having feelings for my producer. Feelings that the music may have induced. I mean, when you are creative and you find someone who shares that passion, there is a powerful bond. My album was complete. I was so happy. We started shopping it out immediately. I tried a music battle on a major radio station in my local county, and I won. I was at work, and my boyfriend came in shouting, "Your song is on the radio." We tune in, and I make it just in time to hear an old classmate voting for me. I felt like my life was surely not in vain. Then it was time to get more exposure. So we tried for talent night at a big club in Raleigh, North Carolina. I had never performed at a club. I danced in them, I drank in them, but never performed. Now, by this time, I was drinking every day at this point, and I had tried to pull the show off sober and all, but I was super nervous. Since I was younger, I always bit my nails, and I always had these powerful, uneasy feelings that Mama said was just the devil. That night, I knew not to drink, but I had to. I drank 2 doubles of vodka, and when they called my name, I stepped on stage, looked at the crowd, heard my intro start to play, and I panicked. The lights were shining in my face. I couldn't see my boyfriend. I do not to this day have a clue why, but I turned around and with my back turned to the crowd, sang my song like my life depended on it. The song was titled, Won't Settle for Less. And when I had finished, I literally peeked over my shoulder, kind of cocky like, and walked off the stage. Guess what? I won. We were all shocked. We all knew I was drunk. Maybe the crowd was thrown off and thought it was all scripted, but it worked. As I had my celebratory drink, I was approached by an entertainment producer that was well known in our area. He worked for a major broadcasting networking company who showed local artists that came out and they would showcase their talent through a music video produced by them. This guy walks up and hands me a business card. He told me about the show he had on cable, and we got 3 invites, myself and 2 other artists from our entertainment group. We got invites to the show. When I say we were all excited, excited is an understatement. Everyone else in the group knew one another. I was the outsider. And no matter what, I just did my thing. I never got along with no one but who I really ran with because that's who I was ever around. So I just tried to be nice as I could to keep the peace. By the time we did this cable show, my boyfriend and I, we were renting a home and we were both working full time. We also did our little music on the side. We had lost our studio and the funding, so we simply moved and kept grinding. The night of the cable show competition, we were all up against each other. Our male rapper went first. I don't know what happened to his music, but his audio was off, and he could not bring the performance back together. I watched in horror as the whole song was out of sync with his vocals, and I just stared. He walked off stage, head down, and super mad. I felt bad for him, like this was really live and on television. There were no do-overs. Next up was our male R&B singer. Again, for some reason, our singer was so off tune, I can't even remember if he finished the song. Then it was my turn, and after seeing those 2, I was horrified. I had no clue what was going to happen to my performance. I got up there, executed every run and every move perfectly. I won the chance to get that music video, and they produced it. My boyfriend and I had made that song from scratch, and we really worked out quite amazing on the keys. We both played instruments. I took lessons, he didn't, and I still felt like he was better than me. Phew, I won. I finally had redeemed my ugly past that lingered so closely behind me every step I took. I was not thinking of harming myself anymore. I was learning that life had more to offer me than what I had already experienced. I was in a relationship where I was not being abused. I never even knew those type of relationships even existed. I made up in my mind after a dream that seemed so real that I would be a singer, songwriter, and producer. A murdered rapper, I know it sounds crazy, but a murdered rapper who had been dead since '96 came to me in a dream. I'm a wicked dreamer, okay? Don't judge me. He sat me down and he explained to me that everyone around me would not be there when it was time for me to make it. I think back, after that show, all of those artists gave up. So I literally looked at that dream as telling me that I was to be the star. It meant I was the one who was destined for fame and happiness. Still childlike in so many ways, and yet fearless to keep trying to make my dream a reality. Thank you.